The Poco F5 has been quite a busy phone lately at the Fiber studio. I mean, recently only this phone competed against the Galaxy F54 in our Fiiber-style battery drain test comparison, and now it has found itself a brand new competitor. I'm talking about the Realme 11 Pro Plus. Now, this phone is almost similarly priced to the Poco F5. I mean, yes, the Poco F5 is slightly pricier than the Realme 11 Pro Plus. And of course, we are going to talk about both these phones in detail in this video, but before we go any further, here are the key specifications of both smartphones on your screens. Next, you can pause and take a look. So you know the competitors, you've just seen the specifications, and as I always say, if performance is the key selling point for you while purchasing a brand new smartphone, and if that phone happens to be the choice between the Poco F5 and the Realme 11 Pro Plus, which one out of the two should you pick? Let's find out. Hello everyone, I'm Mani of Fiber, and now let's get started. We start off by booting both the devices on the table, and out of the two, the Realme 11 Pro Plus is the first one to boot. So both phones on the table have 100% battery, they are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, brightness and audio levels are set at 50%, 120Hz mode is enabled and dark mode is also enabled. Now for those watching our battery drain test comparison video for the first time, we do this by starting off with a 2-hour YouTube video playback where we also talk about the display quality of both the smartphones. Then we follow that up with an hour of 1080p video recording, followed by an hour of benchmarks, followed by an hour of gaming, so that you also get an idea about the real world performance of the devices, like you get an idea like how these devices fare. And then we end this test in the final hour by running an hour of social media. So we kick things off by talking about the display quality, and before I give my thoughts and reasonings, don't you think the Realme 11 Pro Plus's display is simply gorgeous? I mean, the Poco F5 also has an amazing panel, but the Realme here definitely does a better job. So specs wise, both panels are AMOLED, 120Hz, about 6.7 inches Full HD Plus, and about 1000 nits peak brightness, so pretty similar. However, once you disable adaptive brightness, and if you are someone like me who uses their phone with the manual brightness enabled, this is how the displays look side by side. So clearly the Realme 11 Pro Plus is looking brighter and is more vibrant here. Note that I've set the color profiles to vivid on both smartphones, and while the Realme has a 10-bit panel versus a 12-bit panel on the Poco, which basically means the Poco F5 can produce 68 million colors versus 1 billion colors on the Realme. The Realme 11 Pro Plus's display definitely looks to be the more visually appealing out of the two. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, with 2 hours gone into the test, the Realme 11 Pro Plus is currently leading with a 93% battery left, while the Poco F5 is not very far behind, it's at a 91% battery. With that, it is now time to record an hour of 1080p video on both phones. So of course, the camera specs on your screens now. The Realme 11 Pro Plus features a 200 megapixel OIS primary rear camera coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel macro shooter, and a 32 megapixel selfie camera. In terms of video recording, you can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS videos from the rear and up to 1080p 30 FPS videos from the front. As for the Poco F5, at the rear there's a 64 megapixel OIS primary camera coupled with an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel macro shooter, and a 16 megapixel selfie snapper. In terms of video recording, similar to Realme, you can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS videos from the rear, but from the front camera, the Poco F5 can do up to 1080p 60 FPS videos. Now here are some comparison shots taken from both smartphones for your reference. To know more about the in-depth camera performance, you can check out the individual review of both smartphones live on the channel. So after 3 hours gone, the Realme 11 Pro Plus has lost its lead, and how? It is now sitting at 68% battery versus the Poco F5, which is now in the lead with 79% battery. And you know, one thing is very clear after this video recording test is that the Realme 11 Pro Plus can record all the good videos in the world, but while using the camera, this one is going to lose out battery very fast. Anyway, next up, it is time to run some benchmarks. We start off with the Geekbench 6 and quickly the specifications. The Realme 11 Pro Plus is powered by the Dimensity 7050 SoC, while the Poco F5 is powered by the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 chip. Both phones come with up to 12 GB RAM and up to 256 GB storage. So first, the clear domination in the video recording test, and now pure domination in Geekbench 6. Now, nothing is wrong with the Dimensity 7050 chip, as it scores on par with most of the chips in its category, such as the Exynos 1380, Snapdragon 778G, or even its close sibling, the Dimensity 1080. However, the Poco F5 with its 7 Plus Gen 2 chip, which is an underclocked 8 Plus Gen 1 in disguise, clearly shows which one is the boss here. I mean, just look at the numbers from the Poco F5, sheer domination. But the story does not end here, as we once again see similar results in Antutu as well. The Poco F5 scores double of what the Realme does, and be it the individual scores to CPU, GPU, read and write speeds, or the UX score, the Poco F5 is the clear winner. Now at this point, it is a formality for the Poco F5 as we test 3D Mark's 20-minute wildlife extreme stress test, and to no surprise, if this gaming benchmark is anything to go by, at this budget, if you're looking for a dependable gaming smartphone, the Poco F5 should be your clear choice. Finally, we also test the CPU throttling to see whether the Realme 11 Pro Plus can redeem itself in the final benchmark round, and while the Realme posted a really good score for a mid-ranger, the Poco F5 is on a whole different level. Now here is a quick rundown of the benchmark scores on your screens right now. You can pause and take a look. So next we are going to run an hour of Asphalt 9 on both phones, but first let's quickly check the battery levels of both the phones now. So the Poco F5 is still leading with 57% battery left, while the Realme 11 Pro Plus is now at 49% battery. So when it comes to the gaming bit, I would once again point out the same thing that I pointed out about the Poco F5 when I compared it with the Galaxy F54. It's this that the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 chip is a potent SoC which is not being utilized to its full potential here. For example, both the Realme and Poco were able to run Asphalt 9 at high graphics, but only with 30 FPS. However, running Call of Duty was surely better on the Poco F5. So this is the highest setting you can achieve with the Realme 11 Pro Plus in COD mobile, which is high graphics and 30 FPS. But looking at the Poco F5, one can play COD mobile at very high graphics at 60 FPS. Basically, if you're running high-end games on the Realme 11 Pro Plus, expect the performance to be good. But if you're really looking for a gaming phone between the two, the Poco F5 is the one to go for, and I would also say the Poco F5 could be even greater than what it is. So after a little over 5 hours, the Poco F5 is still in the lead with a 48% battery left, while the Realme 11 Pro Plus now has a 39% battery. And with that, it is now time to run an hour of Instagram on both phones, and of course, we can see the final result coming. So after 6 hours and 10 minutes gone, the Poco F5 finishes this test at the top with 38% battery, while the Realme 11 Pro Plus finishes with 25% battery left. So here's the hour-by-hour breakdown of the battery drain of both phones on your screens. So long story short, if we look at the scores in each of the rounds, both smartphones performed around the same lines and were on par with each other. However, where the Poco F5 really stood out was the video recording round, as the Realme 11 Pro Plus was not at all efficient there. But apart from the battery efficiency, I think even performance-wise also, as seen in the video and as seen from the scores, the Poco F5 is definitely a better pick over the Realme 11 Pro Plus, because for a slightly more budget, the Poco F5 provides a better overall performance. And that was the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.